In an age where information is boundless and every conviction is immediately subjected to the harsh light of skepticism, what does it mean to hold fast to faith? We live in a society that prizes empirical proof, where questions are seen as virtues and mystery is often dismissed as delusion. The traditional anchors of religious belief, scripture, ritual, and community face a daily barrage from science, philosophy, and a relentless critical media. Yet to surrender to this pressure is to misunderstand the very nature of faith. It is not the absence of doubt, but the courage to act in the presence of doubt, to build a bridge of trust across the chasm of the unknown. True faith is not a relic of a bygone era. It is a radical choice for meaning and hope when the world offers only chaos and cold equations. The modern skeptic often defines faith as believing in something without evidence. This is a profound mischaracterization. For the person of faith, the evidence is not a sterile, lab-tested proof, but the transformative experience of encountering the divine, whether through profound personal revelation, the undeniable beauty and order of creation, or the quiet, enduring witness of a lived life dedicated to selfless love. Our inner lives are saturated with evidence that logic alone cannot quantify. The pull towards justice, the ache for reconciliation, the deep sense of purpose that transcends mere biological imperative. These internal experiences form a spiritual architecture far more compelling than any external argument that seeks to dismantle them. Skepticism, while a valuable tool for intellectual honesty, can become a spiritual trap when it insists on reducing the sacred to the merely measurable. The scientific method is excellent for analyzing the physical world, the how of the universe, but it is inherently limited when addressing the questions of why and what for. Faith steps into this ontological void, offering a narrative that gives ultimate significance to human suffering, joy, and existence. It posits that there is a loving intelligence behind the cosmos, a reality that is personal and accessible, not just an indifferent void. To engage with faith is to acknowledge that the greatest truths often reside beyond the reach of a microscope. Furthermore, faith finds its strongest footing not in abstract dogma, but in ethical action. When skepticism breeds cynicism and leaves us paralyzed by the sheer scale of global problems, faith calls us out of comfortable indifference. It compels us to feed the hungry, advocate for the oppressed, and love the unlovable, because every human being is understood to carry the image of the divine. This is where faith becomes tangible, leaving the realm of theoretical debate and entering the gritty reality of service. It is in the living embodiment of compassion that the truth claims of a religious tradition are most convincingly validated, proving their power not through philosophical argument, but through real-world redemption. The intellectual honest believer embraces the existence of doubt. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. It is often its refiner. It forces the believer to move past a childish, inherited belief system toward a deeply personal, vetted conviction. When questions arise regarding ancient texts, historical accuracy, or the mystery of suffering, the faithful response is not to suppress the query, but to wrestle with it, much like Jacob wrestled with the angel. This struggle leads to a more robust and mature faith, one that is less brittle and more capable of enduring the inevitable trials of life. The greatest spiritual growth happens not in the certainty of the mountaintop, but in the humility of the valley of questioning. In the skeptical age, community becomes the essential cradle for belief. Isolation breeds anxiety and allows doubt to balloon into a paralyzing fear. A community of faith provides a collective witness to hope, a shared narrative that resists the secular pressure to see life as meaningless. It is where the shared practices of prayer, worship, and shared service reinforce the foundational truths of the tradition. When one member falters under the weight of skepticism, the others hold them steady. This collective resilience transforms faith from a private, abstract intellectual position into a dynamic, relational commitment, a practical covenant of love and mutual support. To choose faith is to choose a life oriented toward transcendence. It is a decision to look beyond the immediate, the material, and the temporary, and to anchor one's hope in the eternal. This spiritual orientation offers a profound peace that cannot be replicated by material success or fleeting achievement. It allows one to navigate the turbulent, skeptical waters of the modern world without losing the sense of a higher calling and ultimate accountability. Faith grants the courage to face mortality not with dread, but with hope for what lies beyond the horizon of this earthly life. Ultimately, faith is the highest form of spiritual intelligence. It is the ability to perceive the ultimate, loving reality that undergirds all existence, a reality that cannot be fully grasped by intellect alone, but must be experienced, trusted, and lived into. It is the bold assertion that love is the fundamental law of the universe, and that our lives have an infinite value and an eternal destiny. In this skeptical age, the greatest testimony is a life lived with unwavering kindness, profound hope, and enduring peace, a life that speaks louder than any argument, proving that faith is not a retreat from reality, but the truest embrace of it.